showing. Standard. Need to know if the standard is showing. No, general showing, standard isn't. That looks pretty good. Okay. Hello, this is the Free Math Tutor, and this Periscope broadcast is a math lesson that shows how to find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to a given horizontal line and that goes through a given point. Now, the trick to this question is it's actually quite easy to answer without showing any calculations, but you have to justify what you're doing when you're in a math course or writing a question in a math exam. How do I answer this without any calculations? I look at the given equation and I can tell it is a horizontal line because there is no x in the equation. Any equation with only y can be expressed in the form y equals constant and has to be horizontal and therefore has to have a slope of 0. Any line that is perpendicular to a horizontal line has to be a vertical line and therefore can be expressed with the form x equals constant. And I can see that since it goes through this point, that x constant has to be 1/4. So I can tell just by looking at the question that the answer is going to be x equals 1/4. That is a correct answer, but it is not necessarily getting me full marks on an exam question because I have to justify what I'm doing. I'm going to show you how to do it with calculations that justify what you are doing. And the first thing that we need to do is find the slope of the given line. We can do that in 3 different ways. Using theory, we know that there is no x in the equation, the line is horizontal, therefore the slope of line 1 is 0, and I can express that as 0/1 if I want it in the form of a fraction. Using the general form, ax plus by plus c equals 0, I can find the slope with this small formula, negative a/b. I get negative 0/-1, which is still equal to 0, and therefore is still equal to 0/1. Using the standard form y equals mx plus b, or y equals ax plus b, I get y equals 0x minus 2 if I use the algebra to transform the equation. And therefore, my slope is the numerical coefficient of x. The slope is 0, which means it can also be expressed as 0/1. Now I have to find the equation of the line that is the answer that is being asked for. The first thing I have to do is justify my slope. And the way to do that is to write m1 equals 0/1. Line 1 is perpendicular to line 2. Therefore, m2 must be equal to -1/0. The same fraction upside down with the opposite sign. This is an undefined slope, but it doesn't matter. We can still use the undefined slope in the next step, which is to use the slope formula. I replace m with -1/0. I keep x and y as one of the 2 points in the formula because I need x's and y's in my final answer to the equation. And I plug in the coordinates that I was given into the other position. 1/4 therefore will go here, and 3/5 will go here. I can solve this with cross multiplication. When I do bottom times top equals top times bottom, I get 0 times y minus 3/5 equals -1 times x minus 1/4. And of course, 0 times anything is still 0, so the whole left side of the equation cancels. And I get 0 equals -x plus 1/4. I already have a right answer in general form. This can be accepted as general form. It could also be written 0 equals -x plus 0y plus 1/4, but it's the same thing. Or I can express it in the form x equals constant. If I use algebra to move this x to the other side, it becomes positive x equals 1/4, and this is another correct answer to the question. In fact, it's the answer that I got simply by looking at the question without doing any calculations. The equation of the line that is perpendicular to this horizontal line and goes through this point is therefore x equals 1/4. I have justified calculations that find the equation, and I also have a justification of my slope. It is very important to remember that you have to justify your slope, because if you do not do that, then you have not justified your whole answer and you will not get full marks. This is the Free Math Tutor. This has been a lesson in how to find the equation of a line perpendicular to a given horizontal line that goes through a given point. Go to thefreemathtutor.com if you wish to see hundreds of videos similar to this one.